AVL, so they're switching back to something they feel is a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out, especially since this is going to be our final map. And once again, we do have our casters, Quack and Aserai. Over to you guys.
Last game, last map.
Chat, how many times do I forget to unmute?
Quack qualifies
Dude, it must be so hard watching Xgret drop so many kills and then having the decision to put him on Cypher.
Again, when
Like
has so many of the champion points,
I would slowly try and force him onto as many maps as possible.
Has been phenomenal.
But bigger picture sometimes comes first. T1 on defense, ZETA on attack.
T1 definitely showing us a lot on that Lotus map so far. But then, as the desk mentioned, agent composition changes up. Shows a T1 that maybe wants to tamper with something and change things up. Definitely a lot more serious, a lot more effective.
Okay, a lot is up to him winning this duel in B main, by the way.
Xgret's still on B main. This might not
Yeah,
get
he
flushed
does
out
win
by
the duel in
Euron
B
at
main.
all,
That's a
and there
great
it
nade.
is. Saya player finds step as well. Can even go for the aggressive peek if he wants to, because Xgret's right there. His
man,
buddy,
he is cooking right now.
To give him the hand, and
He continues the form. Different agent, new map.
In the pistol.
First round, 4 pistols. I don't know if it's the Prowler that kind of gives it off, or it's just not quite really having the utility to combat some of these positions, but ZETA walks straight into a trap.
Yeah. You can already see that ZETA's rattled, right? They're starting to lose contact, or not just the contact.
What the hell, Bacon?
Lose the due diligence
Constantly got a flame.
Maybe we have an opponent that travels on that B main position, and we have to check. And you see Euron just throwing his flash to assist his teammates on the site when, again, they haven't fully cleared out B main at all.
So now with the guns, I mean, they can move around a lot more. T1. ZETA Division, on the other hand, again, still just getting a feel for how they are set up. Exploring mid this time.
That's just ZETA Division. Knocked
Yeah,
up here by Rossi and Xgret.
no kills on this. 20 HP, almost
his
one.
Ultimate almost up. And imagining that coming into the bonus, that's going to be quite a huge advantage for him. As T1 slowly but surely rolling in.
A little bit costly, at least. One gun.
But you can already see.
At least he's having fun, though.
I feel like at some point the exertion.
And then we get the full buy.
Here.
Poor Izu, man. Izu just have to throw his gun over towards Rossi.
ZETA Division, at the very least, I mean, this is still pretty early on in the map. But yeah, I mean, that said, you really got to find different ways to push through. We're expecting a lot from this full buy round now, because it says a lot as to how this map will start. And again, wanting to punch that ticket through to the playoff stage.
This camera is giving some really nice information here for Xgret.
And keep it.
2 little shutdown.
Oh,
does find him
that was really bold. That was really bold after seeing at least 2 on the cam to swing into that.
Information gathered. That's a big player.
But while this is going on, T1 over towards middle.
Downed.
A lot of
T1
pressure.
Saya player and like 2 other.
Push all the way down mid.
Here
3 people here.
Going in for this big flank. You can already see Laz holding patiently while the rest of his team manages their way on A main. Carpe's dart immediately gets scattered. And this nade, will it flush him out? Absolutely it will, as Huron falls down. As I mentioned, 3 players of T1 going in for the flank. Has to break that trap first, and Laz on first contact.
Laz at least saw 2 in the def cam. And there's the Omen flash. I think they just saw them all, right?
They do upgrade some of their weapons, so there is better
I mean,
firepower
they're still
right
looking
now
spawn,
from
so
T1.
maybe not.
The risk to actually push up on A main pays off.
Oh no, okay, they've stopped.
Favoring ZETA
No,
Division.
Sugar Zero still looking
That's
spawn.
never been a hindrance here for T1. They do line up for depth in that high vantage point, and Izu left by himself. Probably just going to be playing that exit frag.
Yeah, way too many targets right in front of him, but the way that this round plays out, just a more decisive take from ZETA. Going in for that elbow push, T1 not really, despite having the camera for information, not really able to work off against it. So now it's just gonna be.
ZETA had a lot of nice util here though.
Comes back
That's a good sign for this.
Still
No
really
way.
early on, but right now,
No way he
great
got caught as well.
movements from ZETA to put themselves back on the board.
Shocky.
So to the next round,
Thank you for
of
the 8
course,
months.
T1 gets to
Thank
buy
you.
back up.
Appreciate the
Laz
prime.
will be a bit of a half buy. But more interestingly enough, it's going to be Saya player on the operator this time. You know, still a very lethal force in this game, but we've got to watch out for him. Excurate, on the other hand, playing a more ratty role as, compared to what we saw in Lotus. A little bit more similar to what we saw him do on Ascent.
And with him having that neural theft, right now it's going to be a huge boom.
And
if he can
ZETA
actually
again,
utilize
back
that.
to back, just early A
Saya
control.
players, operator,
One away.
somewhere
depth.
here on elbow. The flash out. If he can re-peek this, they don't even know he's there. As you can see, his teammate is giving most of the information. Carpe's breaking all the utility. But
This is a good thing about
ZETA
T1.
knows
They got a
something's up
lot
at
of
this
uppers.
point. They're waiting for maybe
Can
a
switch
push
it up.
here
It's
for
Saya's turn.
T1.
And looking
the
like he's
first
going to
one
eat this
that
Omen
peaks
Flash.
and loses.
It
I
looks
feel
like they might both eat
in
this
all
Omen
of these
Flash.
things, and they're coaxing it with the Sova drone.
Well,
Yeah, just trying to get a feel for it too. As long as Saya player can make this connect, it should work.
is he going to hit the blind shot? Or
ZETA
do they
is
peek
definitely
before
thinking
it?
about the paranoia to get themselves out of this sticky situation. Or to at least get a pinch onto Saya.
Wow.
I'm telling you, their util right now
Did
is
they
very
understood
nice.
that he was there, or someone at least pocketed themselves on the corner? That was
Oh.
absolutely monumental. Han
Yep.
from out of
They
nowhere.
die.
Laz finds an opening. Rossi does get a trade, but ultimately Heron finds him.
Okay,
That
feels
means
like
that
T1 need a
Excellent
bit of a
left
change
on
up
an
with how they're
island on
playing
that B
this.
site.
This
What a
whole holding
battle
back towards A isn't
Patience.
working great.
Again,
They
the
might
first
start
one to
going
peak
aggro.
loses, and it was a Saya player that did because of that
Could
aftershock.
put the Cypher
Yeah,
there as
patience
well.
and reads, right? You know, first of all, that aftershock, you have the
This is nice, slow and
paranoia that comes
methodical
out
from
as well.
ZETA though.
And if you think about how a team operates, they're either throwing it out just to check in case,
The
or,
Viper or the
you know,
Breach.
they're
I'm not
also
sure what I
anticipating
prefer. If I
such
prefer
movements
the,
from T1, and
I don't know if
either
I prefer
way,
double initiator
speaks
or
volumes as to how ZETA
double controller yet,
reading this game.
to be honest.
And that's
Because every
something
time
that
I
they
watch
could
the Breach,
definitely
like
need more
on
of
paper
as
I
they push
normally prefer
through
the Viper, but every
into
time I
that
watch a
2-1-2
Breach on this map,
scoreline.
I'm like, damn, Breach is so good on this map.
Reacting off of such an opening kill as well, instantly diving onto the site, giving his team a lot more space to work with around A. So far, they haven't really seen Excurate though, so that could be an idea.
Okay, yeah, and I think this is a good timeout because they need to approach
very,
A
very
differently. And
early
again, it's the two
timeout
options
call.
that I said are the
I'm
most
assuming this is from
obvious, I would
T1
say, in
now.
terms of they either go aggro, maybe invest,
Oh, we'll see. It has to be.
maybe invest an Omen Flash at the
Yeah, it
beginning. I'm trying to
is.
think of their comp.
So they
Or
realize something's up, even though
they just
again,
put the Cypher over
they
towards
put
A. Either kind of
ZETA
works.
to the brink in that last game. You know, there's always the point where T1 is making sure, and I do like, you know, these kind of teams that do these type of things. I can only assume that's what they're thinking, but if it is, right, it's a huge understanding of how ZETA can always be a big threat against them.
Nah, I'm feeling good, Flo.
It always is,
I'm feeling good.
This question of like,
I'll have a little nap after
what are
this
some
for
of these
before
tiny
Americas,
gaps
and
that
then
are
we'll
in
be
our
ready to go.
defenses, and Autumn is trying to right that
Good games
ship.
today as well. So
What we've seen so far is always this elbow, and although the attempt
played
was
both
to
like
stick
Na'Vi.
Saya player with
Oh
an
man, I'm a
operator
little bit
down this
excited for
spot,
Na'Vi comps this year as
hasn't
well.
really, you know, given
I
that
feel
much
like
of
the
a
actual
counter yet.
game itself, if
It
we
is a
ignore the
very,
maps,
very early,
it's in the best place.
timeout. That is the thing.
Like
So
we've never
it's
seen it this good. It's always
very
had
hard
some
to
kind
really
of
figure
dominant
out
meta of
why
like a Chamber, Astra,
this,
Jet,
is being
etc.
called as well.
I guess Viper.
Ooh, mishap there from
Now it's the
Deb.
first time we're like
Either
so
a
open.
misclick or a
We're
bit
seeing
too
so much
early
variety. It's
on
cool.
the use with the
The sky
satchel.
change, as much as the teams
That's
and
all you
players
really
hated
need
it,
to do, right,
kind of
to mess
sick.
up around. You kind of want that
Kinda
extra
hated the
elevation,
timing, I
extra
guess.
oomph
Teams
that the
knew it
second
needed
satchel does
changing.
bring, especially when he has that showstopper for a play here. Or not. In any case, hoping that he could maybe break
Liam,
that.
thank you so much, man.
camera
Appreciate it
too.
with the tier 1. Thank you,
Everybody
thank
here
you.
from T1 playing in such tight-knit positions to capitalize off of those tripwires, exposing position off of ZETA.
Very crucial, and Excurate still is just lurking right around the corner of Market. Although it is smoked off, You got Carpe here as well.
Reckon he didn't go
even
for a
though this
satchel
is
here, he
round
was scared it
where
was going to get
ZETA
shot and
has
not do the
better
damage?
guns,
Or
you still
I feel
want
like
to
the
be careful.
satchel's better there.
That was neat for Nate. Side player already gave away his position. He's somewhere here on market. So they're just going to be holding on to that for the moment right now. Dep's going to be pushing in, but it might actually be, again, a bit of a risk. The separation on these smokes could be fatal.
It's
we'll
I tell
see.
you what's a good sign for
Anyways,
ZETA at the moment. It's
triple
just how
stack at the back of
comfy they
Boba
look.
here.
They look
Big paranoia
comfy on this
already.
map.
They
It's
don't know that
slow,
Dep has
it's
hunkered down into the
methodical, the
corner, so the
util's
trades are
good,
looking
no one's
favorable for
panicking,
ZETA.
everyone knows what to do in certain
Zizou's
situations.
2 remain. Not spotted by the C, spotted by the Haunt though. Stunned as well.
Everyone's got
TP's
priority
away,
in terms of afterplant of where to
repositions,
play.
But Dep hounds him down and shuts him up.
Real quick, I mean, even though that blast back, yeah, it was a little bit lost in the start of the buy phase. As they push in, I mean, it's a very clear game plan just to smoke things off, make their way in, toss some pieces of utility to keep T1 away. And although side players spent the nade as well, I mean, just
Who do I
really
like
not
better
too
on
much found.
Sunset,
The
Fade
retake
or
coming
Sova?
through, everyone just walks through the
I
smokes.
think I like
Easy shots
Sova
for
better,
Huron to
but I
land,
think
so
Fade is better.
moving forward, this
Does that make
next
sense?
round is the one that we've got to watch.
I think I prefer the
Coach
Sova,
called
but I
the
do think
timeout
Fade
for
is
her.
better
But
from what
look
I've
at
seen.
Deb soaring through the air.
Well, you know, sometimes
Like
when
if
you're
I
up
was
in
on a
the
team,
air,
I'd
you can
probably
get
use the
grounded.
Sova, but I think the Fade is
did he.
actually a little bit better.
Trigger Zero is going to use the paranoia. They're committing to get this quick take on the B site because they aren't afraid of
Oh,
how
that
much
is-
retake power T1 has. So the
That
more
is
that they can
nice.
play
Dude,
for this
Zeta on
post
this
plan, the
map,
better
though.
it should be
A
for
little bit scary.
Zeta
Let's see what
Division
this.
here. But again,
So
as
it's
I
all about the
mentioned,
camera
side
here as
player,
well. So
he's got
camera,
the Kumbaya.
we go in.
Nightfall gonna
Camera
be
sees.
used for
I mean,
a bit
camera
of that
sees
coverage.
3 at
And oh
least.
my god, this is just going to be them, Zeta Division, praying to dear
Yeah,
God
and this
that
retake
nobody
wall
from
is
T1 can spot
lovely
them
for
out,
stuff like
which
this.
they absolutely are.
Oh, that's
And they just
nice.
get
Yeah, this
torn
wall that
apart
separates
as
half
that
is really,
retake
really
from
good.
T1 is absolutely flawless.
Full
Very
retake.
clean. Just give them the side. Play the retake. Nightfall was a good idea, and you can see Zeta trying to be a little bit more decisive with how they push out. And although it does deduce that most of the T1 players will be approaching from Boba, they weren't
Fatal
quite
direction
able to
wrong?
respond
Yeah,
to
it took
that
a bit of a
showstopper,
gamble.
and that was the main thing that broke them apart. So, again, T1 just kind of adapting to some of these changes, right? We've seen this be executed several times now. Just set up for the retake instead. It's going to work a treat.
Yeah, and that was kind of annoying too for Dep, if you imagine that. Euron actually had an aftershock to assist him on market, but because Saya player was just boosted on market, everything that he kind of did was null and void. So unless he was
Oh
just
my
such a good
god.
shot, it would have been something.
They
right?
use
Dep
so much util for Carpe, yeah.
unleashed
Gets out
himself
with
that
67
showstopper
HP.
of his, but yeah, Izu was able to get away
Oh my goodness.
with a fairly
Brias.
just run out actually, or maybe that was Carpe. Anyways,
It's flying around the map.
A side
Oh no.
not secured at all by Zeta here. Saya player into the corner and he explodes. You're not sure he got himself that trade-off, but Excurate doubling up, and it's trade for trade, man. They are dwindling in the numbers. Thankfully enough, that Neural Theft is gonna give that information. The double swing
Oh,
on
boy.
mid.
Laz.
Laz,
30 HP.
Double kill. And an
And he
opportunity, a chance, a
insta-backs
hope, a
over
dream.
towards A.
He's down to 30. Did he hear the noise from Rossi? Because that's going to be important. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Laz, he's got a chance, but he's 30 HP.
Yeah, at the very least, maybe he gets a spike plant, but then you got Rossi who's able to kind of sneak back up around. And Laz always has to wonder where he's going to show up from. For all you know,
left.
Rossi might actually pull off such a crazy flank to push through tiles or something. Of course, it's going to be Link that's the easier option, or Ali. Either way, Laz has a lot to consider. Wow, Spycam might actually give up a little bit.
He spotted him.
10 seconds.
Yeah, at least came up
Now
on the
he's got
minimap.
information and just has to land the shot.
He has a snake bite, too. Rossi can play this perfectly. Rossi, he gets tagged. He knows exactly where he is. What a risky
Hey, nicely
proposition
done from Rossi.
both sides.
Calm with it. Low HP
But
helps though.
Rossi, even though he was exposed, he had everything working for
A
him.
nice try from
He's
Laz.
cornered his opponent. He has the HP advantage, and he's Rossi. You know, all those three things working in his favor.
Yeah, trying to go back and forth, but then just Rossi having to land that one shot. I mean, a lot more calm, a lot more effective. But also, as you think about how this round plays out, just going in for that tiles play, I don't know if it's a bit of exhaustion, but not really checking the corner and anticipating some of these other plays. Xayah player was able to punish. Laz, though, able to fight back with those 2 frags to trade back. But of course, at the end, it's just not enough in terms of numbers.
Rossi has so much money.
Operator on Xayah player.
So it's take 2.
Oh, that's...
Right?
I mean, that's nice, but
Both
they don't...
teams using a good
There was
chunk
no one
of
in position
smoke
to
as
get a kill
well
from
as
this.
info
But they do at
utility
least force them
here
back
on
behind
A
their smoke.
Immediately, Zeta Division backs away up onto mid, realizing that last round, we got pushed here on tile, so we re-clear this. But as they do, they actually double up onto A main. They're kind of hoping that maybe with the use of this Prowler, they expose
This is a nice shock.
some bit of position.
Carpe's
Carpe's
very
still holding an angle here. And he could
forward
get
considering he has his
some
ult.
massive damage,
But
which he
at least
will
the
not
trade
be able to
comes
do
in,
so, only
and
1
there
for
are,
1 in
I
terms
mean,
of the
there's
trades.
numbers here.
There's so many players of T1. They're challenging. Izu's lighting it up.
Oh, Laz.
Yeah,
Laz,
big trades
If he can find this, a neural theft will come
from everyone.
quickly right soon after. Xayah players just holding an operator here through tiles. These are just massive reads over and over again from T1, and Zeta Division is playing into the trap of their
They can go with it
opponents.
potentially.
Not over yet, though. Laz still very much so in the game. First of all, has to make his way onto his site. But as he moves across,
Oh,
he
hops
jumped over.
the tripwire, I believe
Yeah,
Excurate might
someone
have heard him.
heard it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was
either
there's a
it's
lot of
Excurate
things.
or it's someone on his POV.
Boba is the only position that
Time.
was not given up.
10 seconds left.
Where does he plant the spike? Does he even check the camera? He will not because there's no time
Okay,
left.
nicely done.
Excurate pretty much right on his tail. T1, some decisive, controlling, defensive posture. I've used all of my words.
I think this is one of these rounds where, like, T1, you know, they're controlling the map really well, and Zeta might have to call in a timeout just to figure out, you know, a different option right now. You look at how they're really approaching this part of the map, especially up towards A lobby. It's just a clear crossfire site. And as soon as they pick up one, you know, you got T1 coming back in for those trades. And like you mentioned, it's just a bait setup because as soon as they get enough kills, they taper back. Zeta wants to rotate. And Xayah players already in position to catch them as they try to, you know, fall back, fall away from A. Not to mention Excurate as well, is just lurking right around the corner. So it's a very good setup from T1, and Zeta has to find a way to adjust around this.
Question is, can they though?
Maple, hello.
Zeta's, as you mentioned, already calling this timeout. They're in pretty big trouble here if they can't deal with that operator. It would work the first time, their counterplay, because they were able to set the, I think, the rules of engagement, right? But when T1 is
High
on
camera,
even footing,
normal
it feels
trip,
like they're always
I'm
on that
out,
advantage.
and
it's such a
we're
difficult
going
thing
back
to fight,
towards A control.
against when you're Zeta
The
Division.
thing that was working well
And
for
now
them,
we're seeing the fruits of that. Zeta Division, though,
in terms of
they
T1,
don't
they're
have
just
any counter traps
they're playing
whatsoever.
way
They're just gonna
further
be
back, though.
forcing this A site once again.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
like the hunt didn't quite land.
This was a good call from T1. It kind of feels like they might have sensed this one was happening.
So this is a little bit awkward, but given how T1 is positioned straight up, they are looking
Lovely.
for that retakes play. Doesn't even matter. Xayah,
We'll ignore that.
it's the same angle, and it has been punished before. Zeta doesn't look very
Oh
comfortable
boy,
on this
1,
map.
2.
Rolling Thunder committed though.
Deb,
Wait,
he's not even
no
looking
way,
above
did he
the
not
man.
see the did he not see the TP?
That's a lap of judgment right there. That was a big ultimate use too. Laz as well as Sugar Zero.
There.
Are they going to force themselves to actually go for a swing right now? They try to give themselves a bit more positioning to play around with the smoke placed at the back of A. But it's a 5 versus 2 Quack. Numbers overwhelming here. They got to dig deep.
Last player
It's not deep enough. It's
This is
second
a
foot
very
in the
nice round
ground
from
as
T1.
two
They
players
pretty
of
much
Zeta
come out on
Division
top for
buried
the
alive
timeout there.
on
It felt
A
like
side.
very much
Trying to get ahead
kind of
of
realizing
things
they
here,
had a lot of
peek out,
success
but
over
yeah,
towards
way
A.
too many
And
numbers,
instead of
so
fighting normal
clean win
towards
for
here or
T1
fighting
on this
aggro that they
round.
started doing like
And even after the
after they
timeout
were
from
losing side,
Zeta,
just
you
going
can really
super
see
far
that,
back,
like,
double
maybe they're not
double
too
pauses
experienced
that
or
can
not
see
too
like
comfortable
over
on
the
this
smoke
map, because
util.
some of these
But yeah,
angles that they just
T1
walk
step
into,
ahead on that timeout.
they're not like very uncommon ones, and it just shows that, you know, T1 really knows what they're doing.
That was kind of
Practiced
sick
this
though, the
before, they've got
mid-air,
a little bit more experience on this.
flying in the air mid TP.
Yeah, Saya player doing Lord's work. Izu Carpe coming in back
Pretty
out
cool
for
from
those
this
trades
POV.
towards the end of the round. Very clean stuff. Zeta really needs more because, you know, the A hit, you know, we tried that, it's been done. The Prowler can only do so much. Trip up those trap wires, maybe go up against
Omen flash over
Exterior once
towards A
more.
as well. T1 changing their A defense
Okay,
up.
2 for the price of 1 boom.
There is a camera here if
Gets
they
a
want
big
to late
damage on
take
side
over
player,
towards A.
destroyed
And
the
Zeta feel like they create a
tripwire
question mark
on
over
B main
towards B,
itself.
and that question mark is
That's some value,
instantly
but you're-
cleared
you know
from
what, you're
Saya just
absolutely
taking a
right.
peek. He goes back to the
feels
angle,
like Zeta Division,
and
they're
they
roughhousing
drone
a
towards
push
middle, so the
on
two
attack.
question marks that have
There's-
been
It
made
feels like there's no finesse
both
here.
get removed, and then
And
because
they're
of
kinda
that
hoping
information
that
or lack
this
of
shock and
information,
awe
I guess you should
play
say, Rossi
is
does a molly,
gonna
pops his...
rattle T1.
Wait, that's not his
like,
smoke, right? I know it
It's
is.
rattling them more than their opponents are, to be
And then we
honest.
get the 3-person stack, and we
a
get the
little bit
push from
safer on the approach
Excuret.
this time. I like the spy cam, but Saya player peeking out into B main just calls it all clear. He knows the hit's coming towards B, but Dev's got the aggression.
Wow, Depp did
Izu does get the
fantastic.
trade very quickly.
Nice pathing from him as well.
TP across from Sugar Zero here, but he's alone for the moment. They don't realize that he's gone for
Yeah,
a shot
Carpe just
instead.
wanted to help his
Izu's
teammate
by
out on
himself.
site here.
Although he's pocketed into the corner here, gives himself some leeway, some breathing room, some playing space.
What a bold play.
It's roughhouse again.
Man, his decision making
of the
is
two teams.
Oh,
exceptionally
Sugar
good.
Zero. Hard
The
to go
CS
for
experience.
this TP out.
Wow.
Saya
Oh, he's
player,
here so fast.
so close. Gonna get back.
Yeah, he's here
into
so fast, the
safety.
double
No!
satchel.
The satchel to boost him quickly into market to reposition, hit the shot, and Saya player
Oi, oi,
celebrating. He's got
oi.
like 40 seconds to wait around.
He spent too much time in
yeah.
too much
again.
time.
I didn't see it. Do it
That's too
again.
much time
Yeah.
in NA, man.
Again.
Making Asarai happy.
Yeah.
Dude, 7-3 scoreline. It all happens because of his blast pack movement. That is skill, clear as day. And of course, Depp tried to pull off similar hijinks towards that A site, but then as soon as it starts to fall apart, you know, it's very clear how T1 is able to respond in kind to whatever Zeta throws.
And the problem, honestly, here is, again, it just feels like if Zeta pushes like this, there's no sure thing, right? As I mentioned, it's a rough house. They're brute forcing their way here and hoping that any contact
That's such a
leads
savage
to
start to their first,
something
well, I
good.
say first big buy,
But it
but big
doesn't
buy
though.
round.
I mean, look at
Yeah.
this. Side player shuts him down. Carpe picks up one as well. 3 players left in this round. Round 11.
Crimea River on this one, man. They
Oh.
line up. That's big damage too onto Euron, even if he survives, right? He's like 4 HP. What? Did side player just hit him through a flash? Anyways, here on. From here on out, he's by himself.
Gets his fade,
He's
or
got a Nightfall.
if he gets a,
He's got
it'll be like if he
the
gets a
whole
kill,
kit
then he'll probably
available
use it. But
as that fade, so
as we can
he's
see,
not
the
gonna lack
chance of
anything
getting
in
a
terms
kill, dude, this is nice from Carpe as
scouting,
well, just
right?
waiting for his team to just make sure the trades are good here.
problem is, it's a 3 versus
It would have to
1.
be a mad clip for this guy to win this.
Yeah, you've got some utility, but as a fade, it's just not really that useful.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to get a kill before he
might be
uses
able
any
to throw out a
util.
Haunt or a Seize.
He has Nightfall.
Prowler too. Yeah, I don't know if Nightfall in a 1-on-3, right? Well, that is a great start.
Oh,
That's
we got an
even
eye.
better.
He can throw it inside the smoke. He can throw it inside the smoke. Can he? He even sees
Get
Side Player.
out.
Just throw everything, man. Just do it
Prowler
right now.
blind him.
Wait,
He's not even defusing.
where's
Come
the
on.
Prowler trolling?
You already know what's happening.
And because Saya can't
Okay,
hear it, yeah.
sick round from him.
Wow.
Chat, Prowler should lock on that. Oh, with
That
the ult
was
touching.
a slight misplay with T1's protocols. Going up for the
Sick round
Maybe
from
a
him.
little bit of overconfidence, right? Going straight
I mean,
up
he
for
played
the
it perfect again.
defuse, and then Hiroran being able to pick up the kill like that, trying to peek into it again.
Nice.
Just well played.
Yeah.
7-4 now.
It's the smoke separated the sight lines very clearly here. And
The trail, yeah, I just didn't see it.
Pretty much big advantage of that.
Is it because he didn't move?
One more round.
You have to move?
X-Grid stunned in. Is that
No,
gonna
it
be
gives
able
you
to
a
get him?
trail.
No, even through the stun, that is huge.
Should've.
He still
Oh.
has his tripwires.
Damn,
and
the
this
trip's
is
still up
just
as
going
well.
Through the meat grinder.
Good.
ZETA Division, you know what? They have turned into a team full on contact. I'm all for it. It is messy. It turns into a 3 versus 2, but it is fun as hell to watch. Hiroran's not going to be expecting this big flank coming in from Carpe. And Sugar Zero, no TPs to get you out of this one. It's you on an island, 3 versus 1. Can you handle the pressure? Shock darts, pop shots, swing outs, everything thrown onto Sugar Zero, and man
honestly,
just can't handle.
There was some good stuff from both
Nobody
teams on
really
this.
can.
It was a
Buying the attention
very
from
good
Boba, and then
recovery.
two teammates swinging
Like,
from behind.
very
Hear
good
those footsteps.
recovery.
Does not
Considering
feel
it was
comfortable.
3-2 at one
Then
point.
again, I mean, as we move over into the next, like you mentioned, that contact plays, it's actually not a bad idea.
Is
I
Sage
feel like Jet
obsolete in the game
should've
right now?
or
I
would
mean,
have been able to
Paper
at
X used it
least
on Sunset, looked really good.
capitalize on the kill
They used it
onto,
instead of a
was it
duelist.
Accurate? But then, you know, it's just because it's a Guardian, because it's you're landing off of jumping and accuracy.
I think it has
I
I think it's pretty balanced.
And then Rossi holding from market
There's
as
better
well.
there's
Just
better agents majority of the
T1
time, but I think it's
having
pretty
all the
balanced.
pieces in place to prevent or at least to deny such a spike plant from a site capture from happening. So very well played defense from T1's side. We move over into the next half. And again, it's just that double controller that gives them so much more to work with.
Ever seen ISO deadlock? You'll see
There
deadlock.
is no safe space here
I
for
can't-
ZETA Division.
I can't imagine we'll see an
Everything.
ISO, but
I've
we'll see
seen
a
that before
deadlock
from
for
Zeta
sure.
fans.
Shaking. Which one?
Probably in
You know, when they're
kickoff.
like praying that Zeta would win.
Really? That's a thing?
Well, I mean, last year when they really wanted to go to Masters Tokyo.
Dang. I mean, I'm all for that, though. Everybody's hyped up for T1 here. I mean, who wouldn't be, right? They look so convincing on
Okay, must
all of
win
their
pistol
games here,
for
to be
ZETA
honest.
for
Everything's
sure.
been pretty cutthroat between the
And
two. And again, whoever wins this series,
have a
comparing it
frenzy
to the series before
and
this,
3
it's the flip.
ghosts.
You get into a qualified spot already. That is
Wait,
absolutely
are they going
huge. I
aggro
think it
middle
was
and then
Achilles
a
that
late
mentioned
fade
that,
aggro?
you know, the
Wait, what
more
are they doing?
chances for you to get
Both teams so
higher,
far
the more
want
you
to take
just
middle.
Sit back, watch the VODs,
Yes.
practice, and not go through the gauntlet of the lower bracket.
That's the bigger part. You know, you just
Oh.
chill out. And you get the study VODs.
With the stun satchel down, and then we're
Love
ready
study
for a
VODs.
reaction.
Depth right now, going on
Yeah.
defensive. Zeta wanting to pick up this pistol.
A nice pistol. We can call the damage that he's done to Carpe here as well, and they can just back
dragging
out. Big
Carpe's
win.
HP to the floor, down to 10. Dead Division's had enough, man. They've seen too much aggression from T1. They want to dish it back out themselves. They do spread themselves a little bit thin here, even though it's a 3 versus 4 with the numbers favoring Zeta Division. They have to get some control of the sites back as well as mid, and that is no easy feat when you've lost Laz already. But because of this, T1, they've already pushed themselves up onto top mid. This could separate the positions. This could isolate Hiroran, and he might not be prepared for the lurk that is about to come.
Carpe down low as well, too, though.
Oh, the timing.
Now they spotted
Some
him.
insanely
should
good
be
timing from him,
easily
knowing that they could have
dismantlable
walked through
by
middle as
Zeta
well.
Division.
If they don't overplay their cards, they should be able to, as you mentioned. But T1's so tricky that you never know what's going to happen. So I'm
Lovely
just
flash.
all for it.
Oh,
What a
lovely flash.
Hiroran just like,
Nice. I
thanks
think
for the
this
help,
whole
Sugar.
strat was really good, really cool,
Zero.
really good. Stun, double satchel,
It
send it
sounds
there.
weird, just calling it
Numbers
Sugar.
just in case as well to
Good pistol round by Zeta
get the instant
Division
reaction,
nonetheless. I mean,
instant
the way
reaction that might
they're
happen.
deciding to
Cypher
really
gathering info over towards B, just in case of
something
the push as well.
that,
Was it B or was it A? Yeah,
that's
it was
maybe
B.
slightly off the book, something that T1 won't expect. And it gives them, you know, that extension in the second
EMEA?
half.
Yeah,
and a
tomorrow.
pistol.
Tomorrow
Starts
at...
off with depth, and, you know, as
wait, when
always,
does
you kinda
EMEA
expect
start? Like
to
2 hours ago,
require
I
that
think?
from him.
And I mean,
2 hours ago tomorrow?
dude's doing a lot, right? He's been put on a position, on a
Oh.
task where
Yeah, they've seen
there
some,
may be no point
seeing some of the
return.
breach
Depp should go
stunts
kill,
having a lot of
double
impact.
satchel. We may or might not be there with you to help you out. So
Oh, it starts at
he's
4
been
my time?
pretty
Oh,
cool
really?
and calm
Okay.
under that kind of pressure.
That's a little bit later than I thought.
Yeah, Les was there to help him.
That might
out
work out
first
well.
round. Now as we go on to the next one, getting more information as to how T1 is approaching. Depp is back in.
Oh, another nade as
There was
well.
no choice but to push forward.
Oh yeah, but the smoke's the only thing stopping them from dying through the smokes, and looks like it
nicely
could be a
done.
clean round here
And
for
we're going to
Zeta
have
Division.
2 armor
swift
rebuys as well.
ones.
Lovely from Zeta. And it's a very good low buy, to be
And
honest.
somehow it looks a lot more manageable.
Keeps them in the game. They carry all these weapons forward. I think it's been a while since we actually saw a flawless, you know, second round. And with that, you know, they might actually be able to pick up on a bonus depending on how they play it. I mean, this one, you know, it's kind of simple, just allowing for T1 to walk into them. But off to the next, T1 definitely has some ideas.
Standing ahead.
Sure enough, everything's been running rampant here.
Depp trying to get him.
Oh yeah,
I don't think.
that's a big catch too. He wanted to get that over.
I feel like the recon's in the cubby that
aggressive
maybe it
control
wouldn't
on mid,
scan
but
majority of people. Maybe it's
fumbles
literally
in front of
just
him.
for the guys here, but
Excurate slowly creeping up onto B main here, calling in the rest of his team, trying to use that camera to coax some kind
Excurate's
of
gonna own
peek
this.
here from Laz, and it works
Oh, wow, I
favorably
cannot
for them.
believe Sugar Zero gets that
does
kill.
get the trade. He
Bold.
repositions around the corner. Do they know about this? Full control.
Wow.
And Sugar Zero, what a
Holy.
mad lad, actually
that was
making
so
that
sick.
happen.
It was so bold that
Here
they just
on.
didn't expect it.
Now coming in for the big flanks, only has a Guardian in hand.
They heard the TP, but they just thought he went back.
Slowly creeping up.
Oh,
Rossi
man.
down. Carpe
2v4.
could be exposed. Gives away his position. He knows he's coming in for a market here. Sees the reposition right now and could even start to defuse that spike.
Nicely done from Carpe. Oh, man, that was a really good try from
Decisive is
Zeta.
what T1 needs, and that is what Carpe delivers.
Just enough of a tag that Hidoran cannot have enough movement to hide behind the pillar. Still,
Hello,
though,
Doug.
really
How we
close
doing?
round for Zeta. I mean,
Any
you gotta
any
admire
delays today?
the heroics from
Like
Sugar Zero. That
10
was
minutes
a
max?
masterful
Not even, I
play.
don't think.
Being able to toss out the paranoia
Pretty
just
good,
as
to
soon
be-
as he feels
to
the
be honest.
contact. Shrouded steps
It's
over
getting
to
better.
the other side. They did not expect it. But
Couldn't
then
have got
again,
much worse, but it is getting better.
such plays coming out from T1, knowing how to play around this B main push. The trades coming through, just bringing those numbers back in.
Kind of sucks for
We didn't even start
Hiroran
Pred Frey.
there
Yeah,
that,
that's a good day.
Again, he thought that he could
Samira, thank
one
you
up
so much with
against
the prime.
Carpe and
Thank you,
defuse
thank you.
the spike from that angle, but
Appreciate
nothing's gonna
the,
happen.
Appreciate the
Carpe's
prime
too sharp
usage.
for those. Speaking of which, he's still away from the Hunter's Fury. Like you mentioned, Zeta Division play
Does he?
themselves a key
Wow.
hand on that bonus
He does.
round, but
And the smoke just went, and they have no
Squad
idea.
Saya get through this. They're not even checking it out.
I mean, yeah, why
What
would
a
you check it?
catch Right now
Oh.
for Saya player! No! The timing! Can he still win through
Damn.
it? He will not be
That
able to do
is
so. Huron finds Carpe
Devastating for him.
somewhere on mid, drops the spike down. That's trade for 2. Depp is gone. Carpe and Saya down on the T1 side.
Starting off with these crazy minuscule
Dreddy
timings.
as well. Dreddy
Now
4.
it's gonna
Thank
be
you
the
so
Euro
much, man.
theft,
Appreciate the
though.
support.
T1
Thanks
has
for doing
an
that, dude.
idea as to how Zeta are positioned. The main thing is still they might be able to get the spike down. They have to play positions well enough to work out against Zeta's numbers. I think that's why Exeter was thinking about going through market, but it's a little bit risky as you never know what's lurking around mid.
Good
Wow.
smoke
Wow,
flash.
actually extending all the way through.
Oh.
Whoa, they don't even
Oh.
respect this! Excurate!
How?
Wow,
Huron!
Excurate giving Saya some justice for the
He
perfect
thought his
lark.
position was sneaky. He thought he could maybe get that refrag. Absolutely not. No ace for X.
Okay, Laz, maybe.
Here, though,
1v3.
but damage be done.
Has a cage to
And
potentially
everybody on
create
Zeta
pressure with
be
the spike.
damned.
You can tech it to do
This
it
T1
full,
is
but
just swimming in it. There could be the half here for Laz. Gives him a little bit more time to play
Okay,
around
respect.
with. Even tries to go for the straight defuse. But I mean, Rossi's not going to let that
Yeah.
happen. He's got
He
easy
did-
with
he
him.
did it good.
He got the numbers. And they got the advantage here and now. Double digits.
Going for the stick was a little bit, odd. But, you know, apart from that, just Excurate again not opping, not chamber this time, but just able to find these trades, able to walk up front. And off of a spike plant, right? We were kind of wondering, is he going to go through market? Is he going to go through Boba? He actually plays with the off timing.
Lovely.
And then
Okay.
pushes deeper into Boba along with his teammate. So sharp, getting all of those frags. Gets ahead of ZETA Division right before they even start the retake. So 10-6 now. ZETA calling in the timeout. Their last one in the legs.
And these nooks and crannies on the ZETA defense, it just gets pressed, prodded, and poked by T1 over and over again. And it's not stable here, Quack. It's not
KW,
100%
thank you very much,
perfect.
mate. Thank you for the gifted.
You're absolutely right? The off timings,
Ahan, welcome
given
in.
to you, presented by.
If you hit, make sure you say
Science
thank you to
player
KW.
and-
Appreciate you, dude.
And
Excurit.
Thank you very much.
It's putting Laz and the rest of ZETA in such dire straits.
Very tough for them.
Yeah, they need a bit of a need a bit of a miracle.
To walk all the way up
Where is the
mid-courtyard
ults?
to
Oh
top.
man, one away
And,
from
like,
Sova ult.
If not for
So
the
Carpe
lucky
could
slight
definitely
timings that you run to just
go
turn
get
around,
this.
Yeah.
Standing ahead.
it's like these tiny
Oops.
things. Okay.
Okay, no one saw
Doesn't
it.
really see all too much.
It's a slight whiff on the recon dart.
Wait,
Fair enough. Camera from Laz just to check up on mid. No tiles, no lower
to check what
mid
the hell's
here.
going on middle. Why is
It's a
this guy
weaker buy
reconning
for ZETA
himself?
Division. So they want to at least
Take flight.
not lose anybody before the push happens, as they want to, again, strengthen the numbers, all that good stuff.
There.
T1's well aware of this, though, so again, they're just trying to compress their forces too, get the better of things. Here are on.
Let's trade on this.
Only really good for one on that Sheriff. Spots out the spike already. As Laz walks himself
Monkey
up
Meatloaf,
onto
thank you so
a
much, dude. Who made
or
a
link.
who made a Twitch name of
Yeah,
Sliggy
ZETA's
Need
efforts
Sleep?
starting to dwindle
Thank you for the
down
gifted,
now.
though.
Carpe even catching them on the cross. Spike
Got
should
next
go
level
down
dedication.
As soon as they find Laz.
Oh my god, he's looking at the fireworks.
Oh, he was looking at the nade right above him. Maybe see if he's exposed? I don't know. Dep.
Last player standing.
Yeah. That's not going to turn too well for him. Euron took a while to take down Izu, so he couldn't really transfer out the side player in time. And T1,
Right, full buy for Zessa. Has to
these
be now.
rounds are looking a little bit slower, but a lot surer. And two more, and they qualify, Quack.
Good little shot from Euron though, onto the Y-axis. But that said, I mean, this round now, you're absolutely right. It's a little bit pivotal.
For
both
God's sake,
teams.
Maple.
Got
Thank
some
you
ultimates to
for the
work with.
gifted.
Definitely still a bit of an uphill climb for ZETA Division. And T1 just really
Wait, can
in
you
the
just type
driver's
out
seat.
random
There's
names?
so
Are
much
these
they can
actual
do right
Twitch
now.
names?
Saya player with a showstopper. Always, with the off timings on some of these lurks too. ZETA might be thinking about playing something like a retakes game. But
You can gift
I
to
don't know how
anything. That
effective
makes
that
so
can
much
really
sense, dude.
be.
I
You
thought
might
people
be
were
able to
making
allow
these
some of
accounts, and I was like, the next, I was like, these
their
people are
ultimates, but
insane.
that's the most you can
Thinking the
get.
internet's wild.
Oh no, here on.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, he was very afraid of that showstopper just being blasted in front of him, so he tries to get that value with the peek out, but ultimately it's a lose-lose situation. Laz exposed too. Now they know he's somewhere on top A here.
Spike
I
planted.
believe that is a fresh smoke, so they have to wait
Oh
for
man, this
a
is an
good
impossible
chunk of
retake.
time, or
Really, they
just
got
YOLO push
OK
through
breach
it.
you so they can stun the back with
Yeah,
a
there it
nade.
is. They're gonna have to try
No.
to do something.
Okay, and they
There's
spam
a
the
lot
side
of
as well.
crossfires. Dep does get
Oh,
some
this
damage,
pause.
but again, with this
Dep
elevated
has his
positioning
ult.
from Izu, that is very difficult to try to
Yeah.
go up against. And Saya player shuts
6
it
chances to close
down.
this one out.
Is ZETA
T1
only
looking
good for 6?
very good as
Is
well on this map.
T1 gonna get this?
There needs to be an account. Oh, there does have to be an account. Oh, for
They're
God's sake.
very
Shit,
close to
though.
making it happen here.
It's
Very,
so
very
stupid.
close.
Okay.
Match and series point, one more, and
Well,
they
the internet
will
is
make
wild.
it to playoffs. And with that comes a bit of a break. More training, more VODs to study. Meanwhile, ZETA are really just exhausting all their options on this Sunset map. not really knowing what to do, just kind of throwing bodies into it. The ultimates felt, and then Euron kind of exposed, Hirodon exposed. Then just running through the smoke, not really working out too great. I mean, Rossi even having the sense to spray through it. Now T1 tapping brakes.
Thunder's Fury used very early here.
Did more damage to his
Huron
team.
again in the same spot that he was. If he gets spotted here, that could be just a straight up nade. And he can't go for the cross.
Yeah, dude.
Dude is holding elbow
The util is
for the
so
second
good
time
over
in the same
towards
spot.
side when there's numbers
Sure,
here.
it's no
If
showstopper
you're
to
over
get
towards the
them
right,
gutted,
you're just
and it's
wrecked.
the same thing. Depp's going to be able to find
A nice
X-Grid
reply
here.
from
Can
Depp.
he press the advantage? He's playing the safer game and just backing away. He's already gotten that contact. It's all good for him.
Interesting.
And a quick
Instant
TP on
ominal
spawn
over towards
just to check
spawn,
if
so
there's
he's
any big
doing it
long
really far
flankers.
away. First of
40
all, maybe
seconds
to
on the
check
clock,
if
that's
there's
gonna be
someone
very
to
pivotal,
actually
'cause at
push,
least
but
that
I'm pretty
gives
confident just to
T1
make sure that no one is
more
close enough
options to maybe
to
go
hear
back,
that
or
they
at least,
cancel. So
more
that means that
options
these
to
guys
make
have
them
to search
confident
everywhere
pushing
because it
up
could
into
be
A main
everywhere.
and
So
not being
him
afraid of their
TPing to over
behinds.
towards spawn where they can't
Cut
hear
noise.
just means he creates so much
Well,
pressure
there is that
everywhere. Pretty
the
cool
flank from
tech,
Depp,
to be honest.
though.
Ooh, that's a stun. Right there. Sees the cross coming into a link. Here's Depp with the flank already. Press still happens. Euron falls.
One enemy
Nicely
remaining.
done,
One
man.
more alive. That's going to be
down A.
Saya player.
Nicely
10
done from
seconds.
Depp, and he's got no time for
Shouldn't
this.
be a win
Still like the
here.
idea from
Can
T1. I
be
thought it was good.
expensive, though, which he does as he finds Laz. Zeta Division somehow manages to live the fight for another round.
I mean, it's very well played with how much Depp is controlling. Although T1 tries at a different strat, just trying to cut noise
5
and then explode onto
chances.
sight.
We'll count them down,
It really
and
was that
this
flank
was a
from
good
Depp,
one
not to mention some
for
of the players
Zeta
on
to
site
win,
to
because they're pretty
really
far away for some ults now.
find that some of these
They do
trades
have
soften
some.
up
Like, if they get
blows.
into a site, Viper was available,
T1,
but
feeling a bit of pressure. Zeta's not out of this game yet. That said, though, got Rossi on the Viper's pit available now. Hirodon might have the Nightfall to counter that, but still a lot of options. Oh, no, okay, well, not that, though. That's
yeah,
not
and Saya's been getting over
Dude
towards
just
middle
straight
all the
up
time,
walked
so
into
would he try it
stairs.
again?
Not sure what that
I
was
mean, he
about.
nearly won a round with it earlier, so...
Anyways, step in the right direction at least here. Spots a couple of shot
Also,
darts.
I'm pretty
Laz
sure
swings out.
this recon's meant to
Does
land,
have a
like,
teammate right beside him,
underneath,
but
so
it
it's
is
meant to
going be
scan a
quick
bit of
little
this
chase
area.
here from T1.
Oh, interesting.
As it's in a really bad
Whoa.
spot here, and
Whoa.
Carvey, 3 kills! Death
Where the hell did
Laz.
that come from?
Sugar Zero on the blink of an eye, down, down, and down.
Fatal goes in,
Nightfall
Prowler goes in
activated here.
fast.
They
We're
gotta
going to
try
follow
make
this up.
something happen
Lovely
right because of the
recon.
Viper's pit from Rossi, looking a little bit too dangerous.
enemy
The hot
remaining.
the pistol, 1 versus 1. Rossi still hidden inside his own ultimate.
Oh my god, man.
It's a bit too late.
That's insane.
T1
Rossi gets the kill before it.
running
Carpe,
down.
what a round.
Zeta Division.
The IGL
All
these days.
the way in through to the playoff stage. Down to the end of it. I mean, we had a rocky start on Ascent. Zeta looked darn near good.
Yeah,
But then as we
both
move on
these
to
look good.
Lotus, X-Curate, Saya player,